G'day and welcome to the off-the-cuff NRL season review for 2019. I thought, seeing as they were about to head into the finals, we'll just have a quick look at how each team went this year. Won't take long. We'll have a look at the final ladder. And if you see the final ladder there, the Melbourne Storm, of course, finished on top. The Rabbitohs and the Raiders swapped positions due to the Raiders losing to the Warriors. And the Rabbitohs sneaking past their rivals, the Book of Feuds, which we'll relive again. We'll write another chapter this Friday. The Eels overtook the Seagulls by 2 points on for and against. And the Broncos have snuck in because the Sharks and the Tigers couldn't come to a gentleman's agreement. Oh, boys, 10-all, 5 to go. Just have the worst field goal kicking competition you've ever seen. It's all you needed to do. Anyway, the Broncos have snuck in. The Tigers have finished 9th yet again. The Panthers, what if? The Knights, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We go down to the Titans all the way down the bottom. And this week's final ladder is brought to you by the Carefree Clipboard Carriers Cortisol Level Counter. It's NRL approved, okay? For all you NRL coaches and you budding NRL coaches, if you're a bit anxious even, this is a magnificent product that just checks your stress levels, and you just need, whether you need to chill or ramp it up. Now we've got 4 levels on the NRL cortisol counter. We've got the Freddie Fittler, which is, hey man, how you going? Hey, just chilled out, man. Then you got the Wayne Bennett, which is going up a bit, okay? Then we've got the Ricky Stewart, right, which is a bit up. Right, you're starting to ramp up. And then you've got the Craig Bellamy. We've won 40-0, but you've just nearly let in a try in the last minute. Unacceptable! For everyone except you, Cameron. And for the first 20 customers, you also get the Jeff Tuvey, which has got the bonus level, which is about when your head's about to come off and you're going to spontaneously combust. There needs to be an investigation! God, I hope we got some Freddie Fittlers out there. Anyway, let's look at each team very quickly. The Melbourne Storm, minor premiers. And what can you say about the Melbourne Storm? They just do it year in, year out. Sensational club, sensational management, sensational coach. Just everything about that place is professional, and that's the standard that each team needs to get to. They are gunning for their 4th consecutive grand final appearance. Or is it 3rd? 3rd, sorry. Forgot about the All Queensland. I've been trying to forget about that. Although my wife's a Cowboy fan, so she loved it. 2016. Was that 2015? I really should do some research. Anyway, Melbourne Storm, great year yet again. Cameron Munster just keeps going from strength to strength. Ryan Pappenhausen, their ability to regenerate is unbelievable. Pappenhausen's come through. Jerome Hughes comes through. Billy Slater retired, you wouldn't even know it. Again, brilliant performance by the Storm. Now the Roosters, they are the best chance of going back-to-back I've seen probably since the Brisbane Broncos in 92-93. Of course, due to Super League, we don't count the 98-97 back-to-back that Brisbane went. Apparently it didn't happen. Okay? Sorry, Broncos fans. The Roosters, unbelievable. Trent Robinson, they've had players out throughout the year. Jake Friend's missed a lot of the season. Boyd Cordner has been out for extended periods. They've rarely had their best team on the park. Luke Keary was out for a long time, but they just kept motoring on. They keep winning. They've got a very deep squad, and I think the Roosters are the team to beat. At their best, they are the team to beat, despite finishing 2nd on the comp. I think they've got another gear to go, and may show it this week. But a massive pass mark for the Roosters. Latrell Mitchell had his ups and downs, but James Tedesco is my Roosters player of the year. And if he's not the best player on the planet at the moment, I don't know who is. The thing you got to watch though with the Roosters, he may be the best player, but the most influential player is Luke Keary. If he's out for any matches during the finals, that could be it for the Roosters. Now, 3rd were the Rabbitohs. I think they did well to get 3rd actually, because I don't think the Rabbitohs have shown their best football this year. They've been pretty up and down. They started the season on fire. Damien Cook, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds were flying, mainly due to the Burgeye. Sam Burgess, Tom Burgess and George Burgess were just motoring upfield. giving the momentum for Damien Cook to just do his thing. He was on fire. Cody Walker had the best start to the season. Probably he was the form player of the NRL leading up to Origin 1. Due to Freddie Fittler dumping him, his confidence really took a blow, and it's only been in the last couple of weeks we've seen Cody starting to get back to his best. If he does find his best football, and we get the Burgeye back on the field, the Bunnies, look out. They're actually still a chance of winning this comp. Now the Raiders. The Englishman, brilliant. 4th position on the ladder. I actually didn't even pick him to make the 8. I don't think anyone other than the Raiders themselves would have expected to finish in the top 4. But the addition of John Bateman and to a lesser extent Ryan Sutton, but John Bateman, the buy of the year, and Chance Nickel-Clockstad's not far behind him. Ricky Stewart he's plucking these players out of nowhere. It's fantastic. Wigan are missing him something shocking, John Bateman. Chance, the old clock was stuck behind Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and couldn't get a gig, but he's just been a revelation at fullback. Josh Hodgson, after an ACL, back to his best this year, and if the Raiders are going to win the comp, it'll be Josh Hodgson at his best. But one of the keys has also been Jack Whiten's move to 5'8". He was ropey the first couple of weeks, but then really hit his straps. It's Ricky Stewart, great job. He's really backed Jack Whiten, and Jack went so well he ended up in the New South Wales Origin team in centre. He's versatile, he's a big unit, he's a great runner, but his kicking game has improved out of sight. Jack Whiten, fantastic stuff. Nick Cottridge is another one, or Chotrich as we've got to call him now. It's a bit like Rapana. The Raiders are the dark horses. They've got a massive opportunity to, I think, surprise everyone and go all the way. They believe, and I think you should too. But can they get past the Storm week 1? If they lose this, then they could go out back to back. It's tough to beat the Storm and play the next week. Now, the 5th place team this year were the Eels. Wooden Spooners last year, and some idiot tipped them to be Wooden Spooners this year. I'll have a word to him, whoever that may be, later. Anyway, Mike Acevo, you want a Rookie of the Year? Mike Acevo, unbelievable. Topped the try-scoring list with 20. Got a hat-trick on the weekend to catapult the Eels over the Seagulls. Brad Arthur's done a great job. Bankwest has just been unbelievable. We thought they'd enjoy playing at home. Oh my God, they've thrived. They've absolutely killed it at home week in, week out. Manu Ma'u, Hull fans, you've got an absolute cracker coming your way. He's had a great year. He's a fantastic player, and he's coming in great form. He's not one of these guys going to the Super League at the back end of his career. He's got another, I reckon, 2 or 3 fantastic years at the top. He's been one of the best second rowers this year. Mitchell Moses, playing off the back of that, off great service from Reid Marnie. Underrated hooker, could be a Queensland Origin hooker in the next 3 or 4 years. Fantastic. And out wide, Blake Ferguson has been a brilliant addition to the Eels squad this year. With the King Gutho at the back and Sevo on the other wing, it is a mighty way to start your sets, and then they finish the job off down the other end. Parramatta, brilliant effort to finish 5th and could be one of the teams that makes a run deep into September. Now the Seagulls. Hands up, who had Manly in their top 8? Exactly. I had them finishing maybe just in front of Parramatta down the bottom. Des Hasler, you've done it again, mate. The Mad Professor, absolute genius. Brilliant stuff. Trent Barrett said the facilities were no good, blah, blah, blah. Des is old school. Des just went, give me an office, give me a squad of players that want to give it everything, and I'll deliver. And boy, has he delivered. The players have responded to Desi. Manly have had a lot of injuries, and Tommy Travojevic and some back rowers at the end of the year Manly may go out this week. And it'll be a real shame, actually, to be quite honest, because if Desi doesn't win Coach of the Year, I don't know who should. He has been unbelievable. Manly were turnstiles last year. Desi's got them fighting for every tackle, every minute of every game. The 1%ers and effort is what Des is all about. And when you add in the Travojevic brothers, Jake and Tommy Turbo, with DCE pulling the strings, can I have a big shout out for Ruben Garrick? He came in as a nobody. He's not far behind John Bateman as Buy of the Year or Mike Acevo as Rookie of the Year. Ruben Garrick has been sensational for Manly this year. Along with the back row, Joel Thompson's reinvented himself. Curtis Sirenen, when he's injury-free, brilliant. And Marty Tapau, Adam Fanua-Blake, and watch Manasi Fonu in the next couple of years. Manly, brilliant effort, and I hope you get your home semi this week. Now, Sharks. Now, You'd only give the Sharks a bare pass mark. They have a top 4 side. On paper, this is a brilliant side, but they've been probably one of the most inconsistent sides in the NRL this year. I sometimes wonder if there's too many cooks spoiling the broth a bit. They did miss Valentine Holmes incredibly, but when you've got players like Shaun Johnson, Matt Moylan, Josh Dugan, Andrew Fafita, Wade Graham, Paul Gallen, it's a classy side. Chad Townsend pulling the strings. They just couldn't orchestrate consistency, and that has been the problem with the Sharks this year. They've scraped into the finals where really they should have been verging on top 4, and to be honest, if they had a consistent goal kicker, they probably would have finished top 4. They would have been pushing the Raiders. They blew probably 4 or 5 games they should have won solely down to goal kicking. So Shaun Johnson, mixed success, but his combination with Britton Nakora, you're speaking about rookies, how good was Britton Nakora this year? Great start to the season, slid a little bit near the end, and Bronson Sherry, another rookie. There's been some great additions to the NRL this year. The Sharks are one team though, that if you're looking for a team to make a run, they are the ones. No one wants to play the Sharks in the finals. 8th place, the Broncos. Anthony Seibold. Did the Seibold experiment work? Well, the proof's in the pudding. They scraped into 8th on 25 points, the lowest number of points for many a year, I would imagine, to make the finals. And they lost more games than they won. Speaks for itself. The players haven't really bought fully into Seibold's system, and he really needs them to. He also offloaded a lot of experienced NRL players throughout the year. I think we'll see the proof in the pudding next year. I don't expect the Broncos to actually get past the Eels this week, to be quite honest. They need a halfback. They've got no organising halfback. Can Darius Boyd squeeze out another 2 years? He'll struggle. But Katoni Staggs, Payne Haas and David Fafita, and to a lesser extent, Matt Lodge and Jake Turpin. They'll have Troy Dearden coming through as well next year. And also look out for Herbie Farnworth. He could get into the top 30 squad next year. He played a couple of NRL games this year, the rookie. But the youngsters have really kicked on, and I'm expecting the Broncos to challenge for a top 4 spot next year. They just need to learn to win away from Suncorp. That's been their big problem this year. But Katoni Staggs, Fafita and Haas, unbelievable. Payne Haas is one of the best front rowers. He's playing 80 minutes just about up front. Amazing stats he's pumping out. Now let's move into below the 8. West Tigers. What can you say about the Tigers? I didn't expect them to even get this far. So well done to the Tigers. Look, it's disappointing the way they finished. Robbie Farah, brilliant career, mate. Well done. Benji, please back up. I think Luke Brooks needs Benji there. Luke Brooks still had a good season, but still needs to take another step, I think, for the Tigers to challenge and take that next step and make the finals. Good bunch of young forwards coming through. Thomas McHaley, Oliver Clark have been fantastic. In the back row, Luke Garner, another rookie, revelation, fantastic. And Ryan Madison's move to the Tigers paid off. He was brilliant week in, week out. Essen Masters had a mixed season. Paul Moravsky in the centres improved out of sight. Corey Thompson at fullback, sensational by the little man with the big heart. He is a great player. I'm going to give the Tigers a pass mark. But again, they're going to be there or thereabouts next year. Look, they'll be competing. And Michael Maguire, hopefully, for Tigers fans, can get them to take that next step and believe. But Benji Marshall, please come and play one more year. He is so comfortable in his skin at the moment. He's playing, I actually think, some of the best football of his career. He knows the game of rugby league inside out now.